Welcome to Lazy Girl Digital, helping you run a successful print-on-demand business. This video will show you 3 ways to curve and wave text in Canva. The first thing I'll do is make sure my top word and my bottom word are the same length. And once I space them out correctly, I'm going to then choose the color I want this to be. You do need to know the color you want it to be before you can move forward, because once we save this as a PNG file, we're not going to be able to have as much freedom to change the color. So I'm going to do transparent PNG. Once I have that, I'm going to upload it back into Canva. Now select Edit Image at the top left and click on Liquify. This will give us different ways that we can warp this image. Now that I'm happy with how my warped image looks, I'm just going to make it look a little bit more groovy. I'm going to add in some flowers. And now I'm going to change the flower images to be more on my brand. This next waving technique is quite simple, so I'm going to quickly show you how I do that. And I just use the curve tool, and the same number that I curve it one way, I'll just then add a negative of that same number to make it a perfect wave. You could play around with this if you don't want it to be uniform, but I like to use the exact same number. Just add the negative in front of it. Once you're satisfied with the placement, group everything together so that it'll be easier to maneuver around. So now that I'm happy with my first 2 images, I'm just going to go back and make them pop a little bit more. My first image, I go to Edit Image, and then I click on Shadow, and I put the sizing, transparency, and the blur, just so I can make it stand out. For this next image, I'm just going to duplicate, I'm going to change the color and then duplicate this image and change the color every time I duplicate it, just to give it a bit more, make it more eye-catching. Once I'm happy with all of my layers, I'm going to then go into Effects, and I'm going to play around with the effects just to make the top layer have an outline and then finish the look. This is the final way I'll show you how to curve text in Canva. For this method, I like to start off with a curved image, and basically we're just going to follow the curve of that image to get a nice unique curve for our text. I'm just looking for a font that I think will work nice. Once I have the font, I'm just going to individually put each letter of what I'm trying to say, and then once I have my full phrase or text that I want in there, I'm going to then space it out nicely and make the finished look more appealing. And you could choose to keep in, I have like kind of a purple rainbow graphic, you could choose to keep that in. I think I will for this, but you can also, after you have your completed curved text and you like how the spacing is and everything, you could then just go back and delete the image if you just want the text. But I decide to keep in my purple rainbow because I think it looks cute. So as you can clearly see, the wavy looks quite wonky. So we're just going to go in individually to each letter, and we're going to just rotate it so that it follows that curved line, and it's going to look much better once we go in and rotate each individual letter. And so because I've locked the rainbow image down so that can't be moved at this time, I'm able to just grab certain letters that I want and move them without the main image moving around as well. And now that I'm happy with the spacing, I'm just going to play around a little bit with the effects for the letters, and once I decide on an effect that I want, I'm just going to use that little roller brush tool to copy and paste the style. That way I don't have to go in and affect every single letter.
Please check out the links in the description for Canva, PLACEIT, and Printful. I hope this video motivates you to start thinking of opening your own online store.